Welcome to lab of week 7. Now, in the lecture, we went through all the basic ideas. Now it's the time to, my intention is basically go through the lab 7 worksheet that is given, and that those examples are really, really good. In addition to that, from the textbook, if you have the PDF file is actually readily available. So from the exercise, you can have a look of the corresponding chapters of list, set, and dictionaries and try to solve the exercise. So my strong suggestion is that if you really can solve different examples, if you spend more time, you can improve your level of coding. So that's the only way. So in these particular examples, the lab sheets, actually all the good examples are mentioned. I'll go through that. Okay. Okay, the first one is the list concatenation. Now, the program below finds the largest shoe across 3 groups of people measured, although it solves the task. So again, right now, I mean, you can open, what I did is actually side by side, I opened the Colab thing. You can also do that to solve the examples, but I'll probably go through explaining the solutions, and then you can try to work with the final examples, final lab work that you need to finish, right? But if I go through the big examples, then your concept would be clear. Okay. I just want to do the chat. Okay. Now, this program below finds the largest shoe size across 3 groups of people measured. So we took the calculation from 3 groups of people regarding their shoe size, and we put into a list, right? Although it solves the task, it's quite clear that there's a lot of repetition in the code. Okay, let's see the structure, what it is doing here. That group size A is, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 7 people's shoe size. Group B size, there are 6 people. And group C size, there are 4 and 8 people. So what I can do is the max size, because you're trying to find the max number. We went through the example, and we know that in order to find the maximum number or maximum value, initial temporary variable, where actually I will finally store the desired value, which is the max size, it must be 0, right? We start with the 0. And for size in group A size, for the group A size, what I'm doing is that for size in group A size, I do that. I check with size greater than the max size, then I put that size value into the max size. So I scan with the 8, put the 8 here, then 6, compare it with the 8. If which one is bigger, just keep it there, right? So definitely
Hello.
at the yes, you want to
Yeah,
talk.
it is my first lab. So do I need to type all the code in Colab?
I'm just I'm just explaining that. Yeah, you can do that. But what I'm doing in this particular lab
Okay.
is I'm demonstrating. It's similar to a lecture. I'm just explaining all the
Okay.
practical examples, right? And then that will give you
Oh,
more kind of demonstration, right? That's more type of
okay.
demonstration so that you can use your exercise later on. The exercise is actually this one. Anyway, I'll show it later on. This is the lab work that you need to submit,
Okay.
right? But these are the kind of
Okay.
examples given to demonstrate so that you can do the final
No.
work. Okay. So now
Okay. Thank you.
okay, no worries. So what it is doing is that in the first for loop, I'm trying to find the maximum size of this particular group, right? And once this for loop is finished, then the max size holds 11, right? The maximum size. Now I do the for loop again on group B here, right? So these 3 lines. So the group B, again, every element I need to compare with the max size. So max size holds currently 11, right, after the end of this group A. So definitely 12 is the bigger one, yeah. So 12 will be replaced. So max size 11 will be replaced by 12. Now I go through the third for loop with the group C size. And so it's a kind of repetition, right? It's a kind of repeated thing. Coordinate. Yes, correct. So all the code, I'm just demonstrating it, right? Okay, so the max shoe size has the max shoe size. So the thing is that in this code, what we can do is that we can add them, add the list, right? By which actually we can get a single list, right? And then I can scan on the list with one single for loop that will give the max size, right? So that is the kind of, technique that can be applied to avoid the repetition. Now, another concept is the concatenation as aggregation. Let's consider a different type of problem. Although we are able to solve using the plus operator, we can see from this example that using the plus operator, we can add the groups. But if there are 100 of groups, then what you can do, right? And so on. So for example, we have a size of that. So this is a nested list. Today we discussed that we can have a list inside a list. So this is probably the first group, this is the second group, the third group, and we can manipulate using another list, right? So nested list. And then we can basically, what we can do that, so what change we have to do here, right? So what we can do here is that, so initially all size equal, so we try to make a single list out of that, right? So all size is a single list. And then for group size in sizes, all size equal all size plus group size, right? So every group, it will be picked up. And then I make all size as a big list. And then I can do the scan on that list to get the maximum size, right? So this is kind of alternative approach given in order to avoid the repetition in the for loop, right? That was given here. Okay, any question, comment you can write in. Okay, in case of mapping, so we discussed from the lecture that the mapping, so I just want to show you one thing here. I just put it here. For example, A is a list, say, this is kind of, I just already typed in, and you can do all sort of list operations. This is a mistake actually, that's a 7. It's a mistake because now it's okay. Okay, now here, like group size, all size to max size. So if I just run it, we can get the max size 12, right? For the second example, second demonstration, that we have nested list, and then I make a single list, right, as a empty list, and then I'm scanning everyone using for group size in size, and I'm making that, single list by the concatenation operator. And then I'm scanning. So this is the first step, and this is the second step here, is that scanning the element to find the maximum size. So I'm using the for loop, and then I'm getting the list. So if I just do it, I can get that list. Okay, now going back to here in the mapping example, third example, that you have been tasked for calculating the shipping price for each order from an online store. So instead of looking up the price for each order, you decide it would be easier to map the distances to their corresponding shipping prices. So using the table below, write code to map the shipping distances to their corresponding shipping price stored in a variable called shipping price. So, I mean, for the few examples, actually, we'll develop a single program, right? That's why this is really interesting. So use the table below. So distance, if 0 to 30, the price is 0. So 30 to 100, 999. So now it's interesting that this 30 is what? The upper limit, right? Which means that this actually 0 to 29, right? And 30 to, or less than 30. So it may be 29.99. So 30 to 100 is actually $9, which is actually 99.99, and 100 plus. So 100 plus is actually more than 100, 14.99, right? So there are if condition here, elif, and this is else, which makes sense, right? It's a kind of filtering kind of thing. So shipping distance, if there is a list given, so you write your shipping price solution here. So it's a if condition. So you have to scan the element. It's a filtering, right? It's a you scan through, and for each element you need to do that condition. I think we did that during the lecture, right? Similar example. So if I go through the example here on the right side, so what the program is doing here, I just make it bigger, is that, so you can see it, yeah. So these are the shipping distances in a list. So probably shipping distance for 1, 2, 3, 4, I mean, say 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 orders, right? Shipping distances. So shipping prices, I can put empty list. Now for distance in shipping distances, so I'm scanning through. So for this statement, I'm actually scanning through all the items, right? All the items. And then if distance is less than 30, you add 0. So any distance less than 30, because you see from the formula here on the left side formula, 0 to 30 is price 0. So any price distance less than 30 is 0. If any distance 30 to 100, which means less than 100, is append 999 with elif, right? With elif. And finally with else, which is more than 100, the shipping price add is 14.99, right? And print the shipping price. Okay, can I ask that, can you do any alternative approach of this if condition to handle that? I mean, if you want to put some fixed range, can you do that, like 0 to 30? It is less than 30, but that one is sometimes, some people may not think it is straight. You can use multiple if condition with all the ranges, right? That you can also do. So you can also do something like that, that elif distance is greater than equal 30 and distance is less than. So you can also do that, right? You can also do that. I mean, to make it more precise, kind of in a range at the beginning, you can basically do this type of particular approach, right? And you can get the output. Any question from these? Is it okay? Okay. Now, for the next one, so we went through that. Now, let's say I want to give an exercise. So for 10 minutes, you can try to think. So the same solution, it is basically a mapping, right? A mapping of like, this is the input of customers. So I want to get an output um, like 72 maps to 999, right? 8 maps to 0. 150 through maps to 14.99, right? 109 maps to 14.99. So the output, my question that, can you use a dictionary what change you can do in the program? Can you take 10 minutes to solve it and post into the chat that the question is this: can you use dictionary while getting the output, so that the mapping would be clear? Does it make sense, everyone? The question? Okay. No, that's okay. Anyone makes sense? Okay, good. So can you please do the change? Like, what additional thing you need to do here to what I want to show is what we would like to show is the dictionary type of thing, right? The output, that because the output input is 72, so 72 maps to, make it more precise, that 9.998 maps to 0, so that, the delivery man or the people in the team who are actually, delivering they would have the clear idea, they would not miss. Because if you give the printout like that, you need another mapping manually, right? So it's a kind of dictionary type of output would be best. Okay, so that's the question. So yeah, please spend the time. I'll be back after 10 minutes. Okay, now let me just go through that thing. Okay, so what is done here is that so in case of dictionary, what we can do is this thing, that I create an empty dictionary at the beginning. Then I just do that if conditions, and in every instance, I can put that dictionary, that particular dictionary type variable with the data with this key, and this is the value, right? So see the difference. So this is on the left side, that was the append thing, but now actually I'm putting inside a dictionary in this way, right? Is it okay, Leo? I think it's fine, right? And then if you try to print the dictionary, then you can get, the exact thing, that the desired output, right? Yeah. So that's the simple change by which actually we can do the thing. Okay. Now going back to the filter, is that by modifying the code below, can you write a program which builds a list of only the distances that qualified for free shipping? Okay. So yeah, correct. Under 30 kilometer, um, the shipping is free, right? So we just scan through and make a new list, right? So if you see the solution, so free shipping distance is again, that thing, empty list. Then I just do the scan, and if distance less than 3, I insert into it, and if I just print it, I can get that value. So I didn't do it here, but that is basically. So we can see that we are extending the program. We are putting more features into that single program using different data structures. The mutability, now this one is below, is a simple program that finds and prints the largest value in the list. However, this particular implementation has a bug. Without running the code, can you spot the problem? Okay, so find the largest, the list, I sort the list, return the list -1. So definitely the last one, right? And so what's the problem you think? Yeah, let's see who can answer. Because the solution is given, but I'm not sure. Did you look at that? Largest packet or something? I didn't understand. So I mean, it's not a big problem, and technically it's okay. In one aspect, that there's an issue here, basically. So what's happening here? I just let me explain that, and that is actually did here is that this my list. I'm sending it to the my list, right? And find the largest. So while trying to find the largest number, I'm sorting the list. So when actually I'm putting that find largest function and parameter as my list, like this my list, and this my list is copied into the list. That's okay. So this list is sorted, which means that my list has been changed. It's been sorted. So in many cases, you can't change a list because it was asked to find the largest number only, right? Right. So of course, there's another way to do that. It's a max function. You can do that, right? The max. There's a max function. You can search in AI tool max function under the list. That can quickly find it out, and that actually avoids the trouble of sorting the list. So, do you all make sense? So this is the problem basically, that if you pass it as a parameter and try to do the sort, and after doing the sort, you are returning the last element from the list. Is it okay, everyone? Feel free to ask any question if you're not sure what it is doing. And did you understand the problem that when I do the sorting, then I'm really changing the list, right? That I shouldn't do. I mean, I mean, technically you can't really change in most cases, right? So I think the problem is clear to everyone, right? If not clear, let me know. Okay. So to avoid that issue of changing the list, what I can do, I can make a copy, right? So I'm the list I'm passing it is sorry, I'm passing it as a parameter, but then I make the copy of the list as a temp list, and I'm doing the sort of the temp list, and I'm returning the last element. Now it's fine. So it is achieving two things. One, I'm getting the maximum number from the list. At the same time, this list is unchanged. Unchanged means when you do the sorting, of course, all the value will be, will be in different position. They will change the position based on their value. So it will never happen. Okay. So that is the best solution using the copy method. And by copy method, it will make a copy of the list and you can do the job. Okay, next one is set membership. So below is a very basic user management class. So we desire that be capable of adding the system administrators and confirming if a user is an administrator. Currently, there is a very little implementation. So add admin. So what's happening is that this method takes a username as an argument and adds that user to the administrator set. And isAdmin is checking a username as an argument and returns true if the user is an administrator, right? So this is the problem, that the class user management is a class, and this is the the initialization. You define an empty set. Now you have to implement two function. One is add admin method, another is isAdmin method, right? And then you are making that particular object, and then add admin, right? You are adding Torvalds here, and then Richie here, and then when you add these two, add them, then you can check, like, is Zuckerberg is there, right? Of course, this admin is a function that will check within this list, within this set, not list, within this set. Because why are we using the set? Okay, who can answer that? Can you give the answer that why are we using the set here? It's a simple question. Why are we using the set here? you can write the answer later on basically, but in the set actually, you can try to give the answer. I'm not giving the answer, but with his admin, he's checking that is he there. Of course, he's not there, then it will return false. But so which means that this function is returning a Boolean value. But if I put Torvalds, I mean, he's already there, then it will return true. Okay. So the solution is also given here. You use self.administrators as a set, and then you are using add a new username, and then returning the username in self-administrator. Okay. So now I would like to give a task. Is that can you add username and password here? So you have to put both the username and password. So how can you do it, right? Of course, I just give the clue that you need to use a dictionary, right? Because username is dictionary is key and the value is the password. Okay, so this is the task. Probably try to spend some time on that. Then actually after that I will go to the kind of there are other examples also. Let's see. Okay, let me then go through the examples, because I love finally I need to talk about the final assignment, the weekly assignment that you need to submit. Okay, so for this problem, and if you want to add the password, you need to put the dictionary. Okay, set and uniqueness. So the lottery number is an interesting problem because lottery number must be unique. There cannot be any repeated lottery numbers, right? Unless, I mean, of course, technically you can do repeated number in which, the prize money would be divided among the people who have the same lottery number, right? So, so what's happened here is that I'm giving into the function a list of numbers, and this function will check that this is an interesting example that I check the length of the list, and I try to check if it is not equal to 6, right? Return true. So now return true, it false. So write your uniqueness code here. So I just go to the solution. That should be straight. So length is not equal to 6, return false. Now unique number. So what I do, the numbers that is actually passed as a parameter is a list. So I make that list, I convert that list into a set. And then I try to find the length of the set. Now, if those two values are not same, which means that, just try to think that, suppose this one, it is a list. So all these are unique. So when you try to convert that list into set, then the length of both the set and the list would be same. Right? Excellent. Lottery is random. Correct. Excellent. Good. Okay. Excellent. Okay. So, did you understand? So when do I need to explain again? So what I'm saying is that there are 5 elements. So this is a list. So what is the length of this 5 element is 5, right? When I convert it into a set, then definitely all the element would stay because there is no repetition. Then the length of the new set would be also 5. So this is what I'm checking here. So if this is the length of the set and this is the length of the list, okay, this is the length of the set and this is the length of the list. If they are same, which is this, the else condition, which means it is a valid lottery system or lottery numbers. But look at this example. When I pass it into this set, sorry, this list, and there is there any repetition here? 25. Oh, there's no repetition. So this is also valid. Should be invalid, 7 was selected. Okay. What does it mean? Am I missing anything? 5 was selected. All right. Oh, I need to check the duplicate number. So 32 is duplicate. So should be fine. So this is the problem here, duplicate numbers. Okay, let me deal with the duplicate numbers. So it is should be okay. And this is also okay. No duplicate numbers. Okay. And also another is 6. So which means that I need to check only with 6 number. Because this is 7, this is also a problem, right? That is actually checked. So that is a different kind of condition. So the main point is that in the lottery system, it must be, I mean, in this particular context, it should be unique. Of course, in other context, it cannot be unique, right? And so on. Okay, so this is the logic that you need to add, you need to understand, right? So some of the thing here is that you can return true, else return false. That can be simplified using return some condition. Even you can put a condition here and it will be processed and it will return either true or false. Right? For example, if num selected is not equal to num unique, return false is return true. Rather than using that complicated thing, you can return num selected equal to num return, which means that if they're equal, it will return true. That is our objective. Otherwise, it will return false, right? So this is the simplification that we can really do. Now, in case of dictionary, this is a really good example because this example will ultimately give you the idea of the final assignment, right? Okay, we'll go through. So sales has these keywords and these are counts, right? So what it is really doing is actually identifying all the values, right? So let me check if I did that. Yeah, so cells has these values. So hat is appearing 1 time, pants is appearing 3 times, shirt is 2 times. So what I'm doing, I put a kind of dictionary and then for item in cells, I'm scanning through that. If item in counts, then I think we discussed that during the lecture, then it is a new entry. Otherwise, I increase the existing item. So if I run it, I can see how many times these words are appearing, right? How many times these words are appearing. So this is the similar example that you have to do in your this week 7 assignment that you have to do. Okay, next example is that more dictionary thing you can really do. For example, this we can go through that example straight directly here. Okay, so product codes. So this is a kind of dictionary in which all the product code has the name, right? Price, like each product code has the price mentioned. It can happen that some of the numbers can be missed out, but let's see. And these are sales. So sales record is a list in which all the product codes, so which product code are sold is mentioned, right? Okay, so now I'm scanning through that. So for code in sales, so for each item, if the code not in product code, so if any code, product code is not here, I can give the command print statement that the code is not found. Otherwise, I'll take input from the user using the input statement to take the product code and the, sorry, product name and the value. Because this product, new product code is not found. Suppose one of the product code, if it is not found, then, we take the input of these two and then print it out. So for example, if I run it, I can see that the product code is not in here. So if I, for example, run it, I can see that hat is there, pants is there, but protocol this is not found, so it is asking for me. So suppose I put XYZ and then the price 66, enter, and then you can see that XYZ is 66, right? All the price is mentioned, for all the product. Okay. So and then if I do finally the print of the prices in which I made, I made all the codes information, right? Right, like so the product codes, price, sales. So while it's scanning through, so I just printed the prices, right? So price is there. So this is just simple printout. So because then probably I can see 1, 2, 3, 4 new one, right? Which is the new added kind of price that is actually shown. Okay, now the next one is this one. Oh, we did that already. Okay, now probably the best thing is to go through the assignment, right? That is your task. So I just opened that here. Okay. So in the assignment, the software that tries to understand and work with normal written text is said to perform natural language processing, NLP. Some NLP algorithms treat a sentence as a bag of words, which is an unordered collection of unique words that make up the sentence. Additionally, stop words with little meaning, such as a, the, in, etc., excluded from the bag of words. It makes sense, right? And this is how actually the NLP interpreter or a search engine works. Scan the content of your website. Okay, so for the purpose of this exercise, we'll consider the following words to be stop words. Like this is a list of stop words that will not count because these are the common thing, right? For any paragraph or passage. Your task is to take a sentence input by the user and output the size of the bag of the words representing that sentence. For example, if the user inputs bumper to bumper traffic, then the bag of words contain bumper and traffic only. I excluded the two, and the output of the program should be two. You may assume that the input sentence contains lowercase letters and spaces only. To split the sentence into a list of words, you have to use the split string method, by which you can separate out all the strings, right? Something Google. Yeah, correct. I mean, things in Siri, even, like Siri, you just made a comment. Even Siri, they are also improving, right? Slowly going to that perfection, actually. Anyway, so a split method. So by using the split function, so look at this example. Suppose this is the user input. If you use the split function, it can separate all the words, right? Then you can actually calculate by using the algorithm that we discussed in one of the example, right? So, so this is what we really need to achieve. Now, I will give you some help on this particular program. I will show you. For example, the stop words is a set. You can, you can type a set and this set is given, right? Sentence, you take the input from the user, then you first make the unique words as a set and then process each sentence, right? So for word in sentence dot split, so whatever user is giving the input, you check if the word not in the stop words. If the word is not in the stop words, it's not in the list of the set that is given, then you add it into the set. You add it into the set, right? This is how you can, populate the set, and that's it. This is how you just try to find out how many words are there, unique words are there. Does it make sense, everyone? So I think that's what you really need to do. Any question? Okay, so it's in the video, so you can take help from there. and that would really help you to finish these exercise, right, for week 7, right? So any question from anyone? So that actually is a clear indication of, okay, excellent, right? So hope that everyone would finish the example, right? This code, and also start thinking about the assignment, which is due on week 10, right? On week 10. So happy coding to everyone, and thanks for joining today in the lab, and wish you all best luck on the coding, right? Okay. So yep, Yumna, what? Which one? A bit about assignment. Okay, so I think you first have to finish one part, right? One test or some preliminary thing you have to do. You just look at there, then the assignment you can see that, right? Um, but not today. First, you please read. Then I'll try to later on. Try to do it later on, right? Okay, it's probably on week 8, it's open, kind of thing, or I'll try to discuss later. Okay, so thanks again for joining. So we'll see you next class.
Hello.
Okay.
I just got one
Yep,
quick
yep.
question before you go.
Yeah, please.
With the assignment, I noticed that it asks you to reference the question from the academic integrity quiz.
Okay, yep.
But I can't find my quiz. It's good. Like I don't have access to it anymore. So I can't find what the question was to reference it.
Okay. Um,
I'm not sure if this is just a me
did you
thing or
did you send email to Richard, to Rich? I
I
mean,
haven't yet, no. I
oh,
can.
please do that because
Yep.
he's managing that thing.
Okay, cool. No problem.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you for
Good
your
luck.
time.
Good luck on
Appreciate
that. No worries.
it. Appreciate it.
Okay. Thanks.
Good night.
Thanks. Good. Okay. Thank you all. I'm just closing the session. Okay.